All you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
Yeah,
real
hey,
mode.
well, we can hold the peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a true name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest, and I'm tired of niggas. They front they blessings, they want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empire fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony, ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
How to be a better ally to fat people. Listen to a fat person for once in your life.
How dare you?
Been privileged.
I'm a fat.
Fat oppression.
Come on.
Shaming fat people on a daily basis, threatening us with diabetes.
Pizza is a vegetable.
A lot of white allies and accomplices ask.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles, testicles. Ooh. Welcome everyone to episode 20 hundo and dose of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because we're not flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Got a burp. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flex and
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the man of the hour. It's the beard of the hour, fam. Welcome to the Daily Swole Mancast. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and join us everywhere. And of course, we have a lot of stuff going on today because it is Ask Papa Swolio Live. Yow. All right. Where's the bandana? Didn't feel like it today. Just felt like going regular glasses, regular Q&A. And I want to get this sidebar up because I think it's a little bit more descriptive and it lets people know what's going on today because today is a little bit unique. It's the Red, White, and Swole Sunday Funday Q&A-ness, and today we are just taking lots of questions. So get us started. Drop it in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio, and we shall get this nut busted and get this party started. Shall we, fam? Here we go. Gotcha. Very nice, Falcon. Summons the Falcon. Put some respect on it, bees. Let's get to this person. Oh yeah, look at that card. Look at that card. Looking good, and oh, he's got the America baby. He's got it back now. He's got it back. He's got it back. Fake out beaches. Happy Sunday, fam. All right, America baby, Red, White, and Swole Sunday Funday Q&A. We are back. Ask Papa Swolio live and hashtag no jabronis allowed. Drop it in the comments down below.
Greatest country
hashtag
in the world.
No jabronis allowed. No jabronis allowed. None, and none. All right, if you got questions, let's get started. Let's get into all of your questions. There's no tip today. There's no knowledge. Actually, it's just pure knowledge cock today. It's just pure knowledge cock. So drop your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And of course, make sure you're checking out the podcast over there on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. As many of you know, yesterday we were banned from TikTok officially. Oh, God damn it, TikTok. So if you want to follow the @ over on TikTok, you'll always know which Daily Swole is available or which platform or which account is available. So if you follow me on TikTok, the @Papa Swolio account, just look and see what I'm following. So I'm following one account and it's the Daily Swole 2. The Daily Swole and the number 2. The Daily Swole 2. So they banned the Daily Swole and the appeal is still out to lunch. So we'll see what happens. They have terrible customer service. TikTok is horrible with customer service. So we'll see what happens when they get back to me. But we have the Daily Swole 2, and of course on Instagram, you'll see a lot of those clips as well. So if you follow on YouTube, on TikTok, make sure you follow the Daily Swole 2. That way you are following the right account. You can't even find the account. They banned it completely out of nowhere too. So I didn't even post any video for the last day or two. And all of a sudden it just said banned. This account has been permanently banned. So I don't know what it's from. I don't know what it was that I posted. I guess they could have found any single video and just decided, okay, you're officially banned now. It's gotten to the point where I won't have any kind of, because a lot of people get community violations all the time. But now what happens is, and this has been happening for like the last year or so, when you get a violation, you can appeal it. And pretty much all, I should say, of the violations, or many, many, many of them, get reinstated. But it still counts as a strike against you, which is ridiculous. So if TikTok bans one of your videos because, community guidelines violation, then you appeal it and they reinstate it, the strike against your account still stays. So even though the video gets reinstated, it still counts against your account that it got flagged in the first place, even though they reapproved it and they realized, it was their fucking fault. So even though it's their fault, their algorithm or their personnel that are screwing up, they still count it against you. So I guess that account is completely done, or potentially completely done. I have no idea why. And then when I go to appeal it, the crazy thing is they ask me to provide pictures. Show us pictures of the problem that you are contacting us about. I'm like, what are you talking about? My account's banned. I can't even log into it. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what it was or what video or what it is. So yeah, show some pictures. Here, let me give you some information as to why I was banned. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me, fuck talk. Why'd you ban my account? So anyway, the Papa Swolio account is still going strong, and that gives me lots of concern, because who knows when the fuck they're going to be like, well, this one's gone too, and that one, we got a lot of followers over there too. So anyway, just make sure you follow all my accounts. I'm not going to stop posting anywhere, but, sucks that they're restricting hardcore now, like they have been for the last 4 or 5 years. Let's see, accountability meeting this Monday, by the way, tomorrow, FamWise. Tomorrow, Monday. See that on the screen? Big old Monday the 7th. Tomorrow's the 7th already? Jesus. All right, tomorrow, February 7th, 12 noon Eastern time, we have a live call. Join the fam today, swolenormousx.com. You'll get access to all the live calls and all the private streams, all that good shit. And inside Swole TV, got a lot of exclusive content that's too hot for anywhere else. Plus, we're adding a lot of new stuff. So stay tuned for that, SwoleFam members. Join over there, swolenormousx.com. I like that, Artemis. I like that. Make your own app. You can call it Fuck Talk. I like it. That should be my actual TikTok account. I'll say, welcome to Fuck Talk in my bio. All right. So let's see what we got here. Dropping questions. And like I said, no jabronis allowed is the card for today up in the corner. No jabronis allowed. It's a nice card. It's a very nice card. Very nicely done, Falcon. I appreciate it. It looks good. It really does. It's a good look, Falcon. It's a good look. No jabronis allowed. That's a nice one. You should put that on your door. That should be on your mat. You should have a doormat, the ones that say welcome home. You should have one that says no jabronis allowed. All right, let's take some questions. I think we had one or two. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. I'm going to scroll up. I think I saw one. All right, Steffi, Papa Swolio, do you cryo sleep? We sleep? Do you cryo sleep? We sleep in a cold room? Do you, or just cold plunge in the mornings? Do I cryo sleep? I mean, my room is, you shouldn't have a hot room. So I never have ever heard it called cryo sleeping, but my room is cold. I mean, if it's too cold, you're going to have trouble sleeping. It shouldn't be like freezing. So cold room, maybe like high 60s, low 70s. I also have like a cold pad on the bed, and I do cold plunge in the mornings and the evenings also. Cryo sleep. Never heard it called that. Interesting. Just sleeping in a cryo tank. I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's safe if you just go into one. I think you're really supposed to be in those cryo chambers for like 2 or 3 minutes. Might not want to be sleeping in there. I think people have died in there. Christopher, have you heard of Dr. Bronner's sugar soap? I have not, but I do use some of Dr. Bronner's products. Dr. Bronner's makes a really good coconut oil, like unrefined coconut oil that I use for oil pulling. They also have soaps and other stuff. Never heard of the sugar soap though. Just trying to find an all natural body wash. I use beef tallow. There's soap bars on Amazon. You can get it's beef tallow and extra virgin olive oil. It's great. So I just use that. I feel better with that. I don't wash my skin all the time. I might just do like pits, crack, the important areas, right? The front, the back pussy, and then you get the armpits and stuff. Yeah, just like the pits and the cracks. But I don't do I'm like scrubbing my arms and stuff unless I'm getting dirty, dirt and shit like that. But all right, Maxwell, what do I think about doing twice a day workouts, one light mobility type workout and one heavier lifting workout? Yeah, I wouldn't really even call that light. I wouldn't even call that really twice a day. A light mobility. Yeah, I mean, you're just doing light mobility and one heavier. That's fine. It's like doing yoga and lifting. Same thing. Let's see. Brian, do you add in drop sets in your workouts? Sometimes. Drop sets are great way to burn out at the end of a workout, but you might also want to save that energy and go heavier on your initial set. So drop sets can be very effective. I've used them throughout my career, my life. Drop sets are great. Let's see. Callum, Papa Swolio, can you please come to the UK and sort all these pussies out? Too many fat people offended by everything. I hear you, man. I hear you.
That's a huge bitch.
They're everywhere. These jabronis and jabbernets are fucking everywhere. Callum, you need this card, man. You need this card. No jabronis allowed. And just put it right there on the coast, right there on the coast of the UK, right there when on the shores. Just put a big old sign out there for ships and people coming in to Europe. Just be like, yo, no jabronis allowed. Can you imagine if there was a big sign out there, outside, like on the coast, in the waters? No jabronis allowed in Europe. No jabronis. Keep them out. Keep them out. Ah, yes, John. Cryosleep. Sounds like you may be part of the Demolition Man reboot. Have you heard anything new on that, Papa? I have not. Remember I reported on that like a year or two ago? They were going to make a Demolition Man 2. I haven't heard a damn thing. I forgot about it until now, actually. What a great movie. Demolition Man, if you really want a great one. San Angeles. Taco Bell, the franchise wars. Remember that. Papa Swole, we haven't talked about guns in some time and wanted to know if there's a specific age to be able to hold a gun and want to practice using one soon. I would go take a class. Specific age? No. I mean, look, parents have been teaching their kids how to use guns and handle guns when they were kids, like 8, 9 years old. If you're supervised, strongly supervised, I'm not going to tell a parent whether or not they should, teach their kids to use firearms or how young. But if you teach someone properly at any age, they could be safe. Of course, you don't want to have like young kids, but you want to teach them to respect them and how to approach that. And of course, if you have kids, you're not leaving them loose around the house and anything stupid like that. So, you can definitely educate children on how to handle guns and how to respect them and how to handle them, of course, with like either, dummies or, obviously certain types of things. A lot of kids go out, a lot of kids are able to, and younger are able to hold rifles because rifles are used for shooting. So a lot of times in some states, I'm no expert, but in some states laws will allow you to have a rifle, but not a handgun, because handgun, you're not going to go out and shoot deer with a handgun. Obviously that's for personal defense, or, you can get into some trouble with that. If you're, a delinquent or something like that, you get into a gang, of course. If you have a handgun, it's more for personal protection, whereas a rifle, that can be personal protection, but if you're at that distance where you use a rifle, you can avoid conflict as well in most cases, right? But you need a rifle for more, maybe someone on your property and you have acres and acres and you're out in the middle of nowhere, or deer and bear, you need something for long shots. So a lot of times you'll have states with laws where even 14 or 15-year-olds can maybe handle a rifle legally, but they're not able to have a handgun. So anyway, Tyler, I would recommend you go and get I don't know where you live, if you have concealed carry where you live or constitutional carry, but I would recommend go take a firearms course. You need to learn how to do it properly. It's very important, and you need to know how to do it right. And learn all the rules and all the things, right? Always treat a firearm like it's loaded, know what's behind your target, everything. Anything that comes out of your firearm is your responsibility. So just, understand, you have to learn all the rules and the laws and how to handle it correctly. Rihanna, Papa Swolio, is there any good meditations to help process death and grieving? I'm sure there are. We have, I forget which episodes or which session there is one or two in Brain Gains that addresses that a little bit. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff, out there. A lot of that, it will be just mindfulness, paying attention to, and you going through different emotions and feelings and how you feel, think of that person while you're practicing Brain Gains. Think of that person, focus on that person instead of your breath, and then react, and then notice how you react and notice how your feelings and your reaction to that, and then sit with those feelings and experience those emotions. It's just important to saturate yourself with it. And, it can help you process. Everyone's going to be a little bit different when it comes to death, but we do have one. I forget which number it is because they're not titled necessarily. Let's see here. Stephanie, do you ever drink mushroom coffees? Yay or nay? What are your thoughts on them? I don't. I think I have done. I did go through a period where I was trying to do, when I was doing more like bulletproof coffee. Now I just drink black, but I was doing bulletproof coffee for a while and I liked it. And I was putting in some mushroom stuff in there, and I haven't. And honestly, I try things and then see how I feel and then remove them and see if I notice a difference. And I feel great today. I feel just as great today than I did when I was taking. I don't really know if there was any difference that I noticed personally. I never drank a mushroom coffee, but I was getting those mushroom supplements where they give you a couple different kinds of mushrooms, and then was it lion's mane and chaga and all these different things in there. Some of that stuff gave me heartburn a little bit. So I don't bother with any of that stuff now. I might try it again. Sometimes after you not do it for a while and then come back and try it, you notice a difference, but I haven't lately. Let's see. Derek, Papa Swole, do you take any fiber supplements? I do not. What do you mean, like a Metamucil or something? Oh, no, sir. No, sir, I do not. Glowing Artiste, lots of questions today. Reminder for those who just might be tuning in live. Only questions today. Only questions. We're only taking your questions, and good ones so far. Keep them coming. Hashtag no jabronis allowed for a chance to win today's Swole card. Look at that sexy peppermint tit. I know.
How dare you?
Calm down, Falcon. You're going to upset Greta. Glowing Artiste, Papa Swolio, starting 90-day dash in 2 weeks after my 6-week nutrition solutions challenge. What is that? Can I get a kick in the ass? You sure can. Go to the fucking gym, bitch. Yow. What's a nutrition solutions challenge? Did you do the elimination diet? That would take care of that. What's a nutrition solutions challenge? What is that? Brian, what do you think of the greens powder supplements? I don't take them. I never really liked them. I never really felt a difference when I have taken them in the past. A lot of them have vegetables or fruits or things that I wouldn't eat in whole food form. So why would I pulverize them, dehydrate them, and then suck them down? So if I'm going to eat fruit or I'm going to eat any kind of food source, I'd prefer to get it in whole food as close as possible. I don't take them. I don't feel any benefit. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I eat grass-fed beef, have some grass-fed beef liver, and then there you go. There's your supplement right there. That's nature's multivitamin. You have that, you'll feel so much energy right away. I feel such a burst of energy when I'm eating organ meats. It's 100 times what I've ever felt with any kind of green powder. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. I also think it's just fundamentally kind of ridiculous to think that we need, as humans, we need to have every single element. I think of where you would normally find all that. And I'm not saying because you wouldn't normally be able to accumulate all of those different food sources that it's not beneficial to have all of them. But what you really need as a human, you need your vitamins and minerals. You need the things that you can't get, that your body can't create. So you need these exogenous forms and, to consume energy, but also these elements that your body can't just make inside of itself. And the best way to consume those is by eating the most nutrient dense parts of animals, which are, for example, heart, liver, kidney, spleen, pancreas, just like the organs from nose to tail from an animal, healthy animal source. That's the best way your body is going to digest it. Now, some people might take those things and feel some energy, but maybe there's some carbs, maybe there's some sugar. It depends on what kind of green drink you have. There's all sorts of different products that you might feel beneficial. You're also drinking water. And understand this, that a lot of people are so unhealthy that when they start having, let's say, a green drink, what are they actually doing? They're drinking more fucking water. So a lot of times when people take supplements, whether it's a protein shake or a pre-workout or an intra-workout or BCAAs, or they drink a green drink in the morning, they're also drinking 8 to 16 ounces more water than they normally are doing. Do not underestimate the power of just hydrating more. So one of the benefits that might actually be from some of these supplements is someone's drinking 16 ounces of a green juice first thing because they bought it. They spend 50 or 60 bucks for the month and they're like, well, I'm going to use it. And they're like, okay, I'm really excited to see how this works. They're getting up, they're drinking a big thing of water with this green drink. They're hydrating first thing in the morning, and they never really did that before. So there are other variables too. And you all know that if you drink more water, you hydrate more. That can take care of migraines, can take care of a lot of other issues. And it's a good habit that people should have, but sometimes they don't do it, and then they don't realize that that makes a huge difference and that they're implementing that as a new habit every day all of a sudden. Just some other things. Duke, have I ever soaked liver in milk prior to cooking? I have not. Have you? Do you like it? No, I have not. I don't cook it. I just eat it raw. Maxwell, Papa Swolio, do you like espresso if it's well done without the bullshit flavor? I mean, I like good coffee. We've gone through a period where we had some espresso for a while, but I'm not really a big fan as much. I just like a cup of black coffee. It's not bad. It's not bad. I do like coffee. Espresso's not a huge problem. I like to drink more fluid volume. I just like the taste of the kind of coffee we have now, which is a French press. I like to make it like that. But if it's a good coffee, then it'll taste good. You know, good coffee is good coffee. Good espresso is good espresso. You could also have real shit, and you know that. You already know. That's why you said if it's well done. All right, here, let's see. John, you would be amazed how much money you actually save once you earn the results from an elimination diet and stop taking supplements. It's mind-blowing. Brian, Nutrition Solutions is the food mailed to your door like Butcher Box, but they're doing a 6-week challenge for fitness and has cash prizes. Oh, it's one of those like... Oh, it's like a challenge money prize thing. Oh, I get you. Let's see. Jessica, do you eat bison? I haven't tried it. Do they raise bison grass-fed and finished? Yeah, they do. Bison's great. Bison's great. You'll find if you try other kind of like different cuts of meat like bison, or you get wild game or things like that. You just have to learn how to cook it. You know, usually if someone eats something, if someone doesn't like the way a steak is cooked, then they just haven't figured out how they like steak. I mean, for a person that says, oh, I don't like steak, you just never had a good steak. Oh, I don't like bacon. It's like, you never had really good bacon. Which is one of the things that it's the case in many situations. If you know how to prepare it, a lot of these other foods like organ meats, for example, you have to prepare them properly. If you're not eating them raw, if you're going to make kidney or spleen, you have to know how to cook it unless you're eating it raw. But these things are more tender and they cook differently. And, you know, if you don't grow up eating organ meats, the taste might be a little bit more offensive just because you're not used to it. You didn't grow up eating it. But once you start eating for nutrient density, man, you just feel good. What months during the year are best to absorb vitamin D? I live in California. When the sun is greater than like 45 degrees to the earth. So for example, in the winter months, like down here, when the sun is a little bit lower during the day. So here we have longer shadows. So generally, from what I've read and podcast, and I believe there was a good one on the Dark Horse. I believe there was a Dark Horse podcast with Brett Weinstein that they had a great breakdown of vitamin D in the last couple months. I think there's a podcast on vitamin D. I think that was the podcast it was on. But if the angle is lower than 45 degrees and your shadow is longer than you're not getting, vitamin D, especially if you're slathering on sunblock, you're blocking, was it UVB? I forget if it's UVA or UVB, but that creates vitamin D. So if you're wearing sunblock, you're blocking your ability to produce vitamin D. And in the winter months, you're not getting enough the light gets refracted. So if you have a lower sun angle, certain UV rays wavelengths are going to refract, and you're not going to absorb, or you're not going to get what you would normally get during the summer when the sun is higher in the sky. So more in the summer months. When's the peak summer for California? Probably like, normal summer times, right? Like April through September kind of thing. I mean, I supplement with vitamin D. And I get a ton of sun. I get a ton of sun, but I still supplement with it. I'm not going to OverD. I'm not going to overdose or anything like that. All right, let's see. Rihanna, have you tried pour over for coffee? I have. I'm not as big of a fan. I like my coffee hotter. I find with like pour over, it cools off too much when you're watching it drip, and it's like a painfully slow process. I've done it before. It's cool. I have like the carafe, or whatever they call it. I have the pour over stuff, but I just prefer French press. I like a darker, richer coffee. And it's so quick and efficient. If you do a coarse grind, and I kind of drizzle some water over it, let it bloom for like 30 seconds, mix it up a little bit. So it's like 4 minutes or so total, 4.5 minutes total from pouring it, from stirring it. So like maybe like 3.5 to 4 minutes. It's just great. Simple, straightforward. I don't have to like babysit. I don't want to babysit my coffee. I just want the fucking coffee made. I like it. How do you like your coffee? You could drop that in the comments. Dave, other than this show, what podcast do you recommend? What kind of podcast do you like to listen to? There's a lot of great podcasts. I don't listen to fitness podcasts. I mean, I listen to health podcasts. There's a great one, the Fundamental Health Podcast with Paul Saladino. The Dark Horse Podcast with Brett Weinstein's a great one. Jordan Peterson's got a great podcast. You can listen to Joe Rogan. He has great guests on all the time. And one of the great things about listening to some of these other conversational podcasts is that when you hear a guest come on and you like their content, like, oh shit, that's a great book, or let me check out that book. Then you check out their book, or they have a podcast. You go listen to them and then listen to someone else. You have to do some work, and you'll be surprised at what you find. There's a lot of great stuff out there. I also recommend the What is Money show if you're interested in Bitcoin. That's most of the stuff that I consume. I don't do a lot of, I don't consume like health or fitness podcasts, but What is Money show is fantastic if you're interested in Bitcoin. Some of the podcasts I listen to are for a lot of what I do also is I'll subscribe to podcasts that I don't listen to. I subscribe to a lot of podcasts. What Bitcoin Did with Peter McCormack is great too. A lot of times I subscribe to podcasts just to see what is being put out. I like to know what the mainstream is putting out. I like to know what most people are listening to. So, a lot of times I'll listen to content because I know a lot of people are listening to it. It's not necessarily because I like it. I want to get a gist of what's being put out on the podcast. So I like to know what most people are listening to, in addition to listening to things that I personally want to listen to. So I listen to things that other people are hearing because I want to know what other people are hearing. So that's how I listen to podcasts. It's not just, this is what I'm interested in, I'm listening to this. I want to know what other people are listening to also. So, let's see here. Papa Soy, have you watched the YouTube channel Bioneer? No, I have not. Never heard of it, actually. I don't watch YouTube, really. Tyler, where can I find quality coffee beans? I would look for something local. Look for a local roaster so it's fresh. Everyone's going to be different. You can get some like General Organic or Single Origin Roast, on Amazon or at a local store. But if you have like an independent or like a small batch roaster nearby, that can also be just so much better because fresh coffee is night and day. Even if something's a bigger brand that you get from the store, just fresh coffee, fresh roasted coffee is going to change the game. When you're using coffee, I had Death Wish coffee for a little bit, and then it just started in comparison to other types of coffee, it just tastes like motor oil. I used to drink it just for caffeine, then I realized how bad it was for you. I'm like, this is way too much coffee, way too much caffeine. If you need that much caffeine, there's a problem. But it just doesn't taste good. It's not like a good tasting coffee. It's just there just to have tons of fucking caffeine. But I like the taste. Anyway, it depends on what your Personal preferences. You want the coffee to bloom. If it's not blooming, it's not a fresh roast. Stephanie, good questions today, fam. Let's see. Do you use red light therapy, red light or infrared therapy? Well, those are different, aren't they? I know some people have infrared. Well, I guess if you're using an infrared sauna, I don't. I have, and I might be looking into that. That might be the next little spa thing that we do at the house, is get like some kind of like red light therapy units, but it's just not a immediate priority, but I've used it before. I think it's beneficial. To what extent, everyone's going to be a little bit different. But like I said yesterday, if people are very consistent with their health protocols and they're very consistent doing, you'll notice small changes. So if you're just doing random stuff and you're eating McDonald's and you're not sleeping well and you're not hydrating and you're barely exercising, are you going to feel a difference with red light therapy? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? So if you're taking care of all these things, if you're taking care of all your 7 pillars, are being really ruthlessly consistent, then you're more likely going to find those little tweaks and those adjustments beneficial or detrimental or no difference. You'll notice more whether or not it's working. So, all right. Hashtag no jabronis allowed. Drop that in the comments. We'll still take some more questions. We still got some time. Make sure you subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review. How many of you have not yet left a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify? How dare you?
How dare you?
Sick 'em, Greta. How dare you? How dare you not leave a review? Please do so. Even on Spotify, you can't write a review, but you can leave 5 stars, and it helps a lot. So thank you so much for doing so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the suggestions. I love all the ones dropping in the comments. Good stuff, fam. Good stuff. Jessica, do you avoid water packaged in plastic? Absolutely. Absolutely. I see Saladino looks for glass bottled water, but I can't ever find it. You can't find glass water? You can't find water in glass at your supermarkets or things like that? Yeah, I don't eat water or eat water. I don't consume water in plastic. We use stainless steel. We have a stainless steel, gravitational filter. Make sure that's always beneficial. If you don't have a gravity water filtration system, that's just a great security thing, because if you don't have running water, you can still, I could filter pond scum. I could get water from like the swamp next door, and then it would filter the water. So it's important to have gravity filtration. You don't need any power. That way, if there's power outages, you don't have running water, or there's like contamination in a city supply or something, you still have the ability to filter water for you and your family. So yes, avoid water packaged in plastic. Avoid plastic whenever possible. A lot of times water bottles are just sitting in the sun, or they're sitting in a hot truck, and they're just leaching these chemicals into the water that you're drinking. Stephanie, do I listen to David Sinclair? I've heard him on podcasts, but I think he also says he's leading researcher in anti-aging, and then he also, I think, barely exercises and drinks like soda and shit like that. So I've heard him talk about like his diet, and it sounds like he doesn't really take care of his health. So I'm very skeptical. Not that he's not on the cutting edge, but it's really hard for me to listen to someone who's talking about anti-aging and longevity, and he's consuming shit food. I think that was him. I remember hearing him like, wait, what? Like, how can you actually talk about anti-aging? Not that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's obviously smart. But I've listened to him on occasion, not regularly. I don't keep up with his stuff, though. If he has his own podcast and things like that, I don't follow it. Let's see. Will you be using the new emojis? Pregnant man? Oh my fucking God. That's not pregnant man. That's dad bod. That's a dad bod emoji, because men cannot get pregnant. So go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Men cannot get pregnant.
Chicks will dig you. Or dudes, or whatever gender thing you're into.
Men cannot get pregnant. Patrick from the water conversation. What about Brita filter pitchers or bottles? I think Brita just does like the bare minimum. There are other filters and other companies out there. There are a lot of other ones. I know Berkey makes one. They have these like, those little towers where you can have, other types of filters, and they go through a lot more particulate. You can definitely Google that. I used to use a Brita or a Pure water filter is one of those, but if you want to get something a little bit more serious, The more serious, you pay more, but then you're filtering out a lot more things like, metals or fluoride and things like that. Like anything else, you get a more powerful or more expensive one that does it better, then you're going to pay more, but you'll also remove more things. It's understandable. It's a great start though. Filtered water, night and day. Steven, I have my water well, best water to drink. Do you test it? Thing is about well water too, is you could also get like metals and stuff in them. And also, you're getting whatever waste from the sky too. So it doesn't mean you shouldn't filter it also. But well water is definitely delicious. Certainly is. Certainly is. Joe, my wife had horrible leaky gut, but when she stopped drinking soda, it helped a lot. Water is amazing. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Shocker that water is so amazing. Is it now? For sure it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Let's take a couple questions. We'll take one from Instagram too. We'll follow up. We'll take some more questions live from Dumb Liftaholic. You don't say. Papa Swolio, is a healthy amount of body fat okay? Or as lean as you can go? Well, you just said, is a healthy amount of body fat okay? Well, yeah. If it's a healthy amount, then it's healthy, isn't it? By your own question. So a little Matt Damon on that one. Matt Damon. No, you don't want to just be as lean as you can go unless you're competing on stage. So you should have body fat. I have body fat. You can't see every single muscle fiber in every fucking vein in my body. So I have some body fat. You're not supposed to be 5% body fat. A healthy body fat percentage is somewhere in the teens, mid-teens probably for the average person. That might sound extremely lean, but most people are extremely fucking fat. So that shouldn't be the norm. It's not hard to maintain a solid average body fat, was it high teens, something like that. Depends on if you're a guy or a girl. Women have a higher body fat percentage. So a female might be healthy and might be good around like the low 20s, like 20 to 22. And a guy would be like maybe 17%, 16%, something like that in general, depending. But most people are very unhealthy. So that's if that seems extreme to you, it's just because most people are extremely overweight. Stephanie, David Sinclair experiments for periods with his body, diets, and other stuff, and sees what it does to his health, and then does stuff to recover. All right. He frequently guinea pigs himself. Does he? I don't know. From what I've heard, from what I've listened to him, he just says that's what he eats, and those are things that he does. So I'm not sure. Again, I don't follow his stuff, but cool. Keep us posted. Let's see. Derek, do I drink coconut water? I don't, but I have, and I like the taste, like straight from the coconut. That stuff's good. That stuff's delicious. Great electrolytes and things like that. Nothing wrong with coconut water. You just don't want to get those ones that are flavored and extra added sugar and things like that. Nothing like cracking open a coconut and drinking nature's juice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of good, like anything else with just going back to the anti-aging stuff. Anti-aging means, obviously there's chronological age and biological age. And we just want to make sure that you're not extending your life without being functional, right? You don't want to have a long life and you're incapacitated for the last 30 or 40% of it. So a lot of people look today and like, oh, well, we're living longer. I know the average lifespan could be shortening, whatever, year to year, but we want to make sure that we're not on medication for the last 20 or 30 years. So a longer life, cool. But we want a healthier life. So living 70 or 80 healthy years is better than living to be 100 than having like 30 years, in a wheelchair on medication. And things happen, right? Things happen. There's always things that you can't foresee and other health complications and things that come up out of nowhere. So in other words, you want to put your best foot forward. If you're not trying to take care of your health, then you're increasing your risk that you're going to have problems, right? You're increasing your risk that you're going to have problems when you get older. And I'm not saying that if you eat grass-fed beef and you train regularly and you meditate, you follow the 7 pillars, that you're not going to get into a car accident, have a problem, or there's some genetic issue with your family history that does set you back in your 60s. But you're going to mitigate your risk. You're going to give yourself a better shot. Okay. You're going to be putting yourself in a more advantageous position if you take care of your health. If you're just passive, then you're going to be rolling the dice and complicating yourself for no reason. So put yourself in a better position to succeed. Right? Just some thoughts. These are great questions today, fam. We got a lot of coconut water fans in there. All right, Derek, how do I tell my girlfriend she has an unhealthy lifestyle? Ooh.
You're not making this easy on me, boy.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
I'm your huckleberry.
Derek, that's a tough one, bro. How do I tell my girlfriend she has an unhealthy lifestyle? Well, if you tell your girlfriend she has an unhealthy lifestyle, you're going to be a single man. Hey-o. Derek's going to be single. All right. Let's see. How do I tell her what's going on? What's the situation? Yeah, show her the Daily Swole. How do I tell her? Well, you lead by example. If you tell someone, that they're not living a healthy lifestyle and you're not doing it, you're just being a hypocrite. And why should they listen to you? Because you're not leading by example. First, you got to be doing it yourself. And if you're not doing it yourself, then why aren't you doing it yourself? If you actually believe in it, you should be doing it. So that should be the first thing. What's the situation here? Like, what's the unhealthy lifestyle? Can you give us a sample or an example? We'll be nice. Maybe. I like Josh. Show her the Daily Swole. Show her the fucking Daily Swole. Show her that knowledge cock.
Because.
Show her that knowledge cock. Let's see. We got some responses. Patrick, show her what a healthy lifestyle looks like and how it benefits you. Indeed. Good for you, Jen. Good luck to you and your little one. Heyo. My daughter and I are getting ready to head over to our first jiu-jitsu open mat. Time to get my ass beat and learn some more. Indeed. Have fun. Good stuff. Let's see. All right. So follow up on this. We'll take one more comment before we get back to the girlfriend situation. Nick, should I get glasses for the gym to block out the lights when benching, or would that make me a jabroni? No, dude, I hate those fluorescent lights. What you might want to get is some of those like orange shades, like the ones that I have. You can get these. They'll block out the blue light. Those are brutal. I'm not a fan of that at all. So, would that make you a jabroni? You do whatever you need to do. You can wear a hat on low. You can wear glasses if you want to. But man, like, gym lighting is nasty, which is why I love to lift outside. I like natural light. And if it's dim in the house because of no light, it's getting dark outside, we just turn on the salt lamps and stuff like that and the red lights. I don't like artificial light. I'm not a fan of that. So are you just asking because you just wanted to say the word jabroni? Or are you actually serious? Does it really bother you? Because it would bother me for sure. Do you wear a hat? I always used to wear a hat in the gym because it was just too fucking bright. I couldn't do it now. I kind of got used to the gym just because I was in the gym all the way up to the point. But then when I just, once we moved, I started training at home. I don't think I can go back to training in a fucking box anymore. I love just being outside, and even if it changes, it's changed how I train just because I have more space and I'm training a different way because I want to. I've just naturally gravitated to doing whatever it is, but doing it outside just feels so much better. Cheat on her with a healthy girl. Ooh, savage.
The little rascal has spirit.
Damn, Jeremy. All right. So Derek, responding to the girlfriend situation, fast food and likes bad carbs. So what do you mean by bad carbs? Like, chips and all that kind of stuff. I was seeing some posts about from dentists, and, they were saying that candy for kids, it's not even the candy that's the major problem. It's the Cheetos and the goldfish crackers. Those are things that give kids cavities, and parents are like, well, you're not getting candy. Here, eat this, other garbage processed food. And like the goldfish and shit like that is what's causing the cavities in kids for the most part, or more so than candy. Because, the goldfish and those are still processed carbohydrate. It's still sugar, but people don't look at it as sugar. So you're eating all this crap, and you know how those kinds of crackers and garbage get just stuck and jammed in your teeth like clay, and just eats away. Let's see. Phoenix, tell her she is unhealthy, then immediately tell her to calm down. That works 10 out of 10 times. Thanks for the advice. Excellent. That's exactly what you should be doing with your girlfriend. Be extremely blunt and then tell her to calm down. Very nice. Well done. Good advice. Excellent. 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 We're going to see this on the fucking news tomorrow. Like a murder-suicide. Hopefully not, but just saying. That doesn't sound like a good start. Let's see. Yeah, make sure you're talking about the water bottle situation. Just get a hydro flask or something like that. Get a stainless steel bottle. Just use that for your water. It's the best way to do it. All right. Blinded by the light. Yeah, you get blinded by the fluorescent lights. Yeah, you can get that. You can get those blue blocking glasses. You could do that. I too like to live dangerously. I know. Austin Powers.
You're insane, gold member.
I too like to live dangerously. You got to lead by example. She's eating bad food. Does she train with you? Does she exercise? Is she aware of this? Have you talked about it? Are you eating healthy? Are you indulging at the same time? Because if you're eating that shit too and then being like, you shouldn't eat this. It's really bad for you. As you're stuffing your face. I've heard of Kangen water. I forget what it is. It was like alkaline or it's like some kind of charged water. I think those filters are like a few $1,000s. I think it's really good for you. I've heard good things, but I remember looking into it a while back and it was really expensive. So I was like, okay, that's not even something I need to think about right now. I have to look into that again, but I've heard of it. I forget the details on it though. But in my travels, I've heard good things about it. I just remember vaguely that it was really expensive and it wasn't even something to pay much attention to at the time because it was just out of my... But it is crazy expensive. Yeah. Derek, we don't work out together, but if we go out, I usually eat steak and some veggies. She eats Alfredo, or alfalfa. She eats Alfredo and bread. So she's a carbaholic. Like, is she overweight? Is she obese? Is she like, yeah, I mean, a lot of times people just don't understand what food does to them. You know, they just don't understand what food is. They don't understand the impact. Have you thought about doing something where like have you ever thought about going like carnivore or doing like a real carnivore type challenge or doing animal based where you're really just going like meat and fruit and then she'll see the results and be like, holy shit. And you can just talk about how awesome you feel all the time. You know, you just want to include, usually you want to include someone else, like your partner. Are you living with her or are you just dating her? And these are all different things that are important because if you're not living together, then it's kind of like, you know, you still have an option to find someone that takes their health seriously. And this is a big thing. This is a big thing. At the same time, like you got to make sure you're doing what's right for you. And this is pretty fundamental. A lot of people think they can just eat different foods and their significant other and it's just going to go away. Or if you really understand what food does to your body and you're taking your health seriously, you're eating a certain way, it's definitely a rift if the other person's not taking it like that. She saw you drop 60 pounds, not living together yet. Oh, all right. Damn, Cerny. Savage, have you ever thought about showing her the door? Ooh.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Ooh, choose truth over facts. God damn. God damn. Cerny Savage. Davey Dave, what cuts of beef do you use for jerky? We use London broil. That's what we've been doing. London broil. I just had some jerky a little while ago. After the podcast, I'm going to go fucking smash some more jerky. Let's fucking go. I love it. Just steak in my hand. Just fucking steak sticks. Just sticks of steak. So good. Brutal. Showing you the door. Look, I know you probably have a lot of things in common and you like each other. Does she work out? Does she exercise? I want to know what's going on with this. I want to get a little bit more into it. We got a few more minutes. So Like, is she exercising? Does she do those types of things? Or is she just kind of like, I mean, if she's not eating healthy and she doesn't exercise, it's like, bruh, there's like 7 billy peeps in the world. 7 billy. And there's 7 billion people. And with all the lockdowns, there's some horny beaches out there. You know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Because stickers?
You know what I'm saying?
Hadouken!
Give her the old Shoryuken.
Shoryuken!
There's a lot of people that they're a little backed up after like 2 years. So they're out there. They're out there waiting. They're out there waiting. It'll be a challenge to find someone. I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, to find someone for their health? I don't know. They're out there. They're out there. Don't they have those websites like fitsingles.com or something like that? All those websites now that they're trying to come out with. Every single type of person or every single type of relationship has an app, like a dating app, where you're going to find only people like this. I mean, I don't necessarily think you should just only find someone based around fitness. That might be a little bit, you know, but it doesn't mean they don't have other interests too. Oh, I do need that one. How about you guys? I need to make a list because I write it down here. I write them down, the soundboards, because I have so many good ideas for soundboards and I forget after we go offline. I do need the emotional damage. I do need that. All right. Hashtag no jabronis allowed. Drop that in the comments. Hashtag ask Papa Swole. We got a little bit of time left. Not too much time, but we got a couple questions remaining. Reminder, tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time, we have our accountability meeting live call. Members only, SwoleNormousX.com. Join the fam today. Monday, February 7th, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time, 12 noon Eastern time. That's 12 noon Eastern time. Right now, it's 12:30 Eastern time. So mark your calendars. Use whatever world clock you need to do. 12 noon Eastern time. 12 noon Eastern time. John, LOL, oh my God, I've been thinking the same thing with all these insane restrictions, like a baby boom 2.0. Well, I mean, people need to start having more kids. We're not repopulating we're not positive. Like, we're not replacing the population. We're actually winding down because of the whole, the feminization of men, not to mention women are being promoted over and over again to be more like men and to be CEOs instead of being mothers. And there's nothing wrong with doing what you're passionate about in your life, but we're really here on this earth to reproduce and have more kids. So it doesn't really matter, you know, in the long term, if our species is going to be declining and disappearing. So we have too much ease and too much access to, I wouldn't say too much. We have so much access to information and so much ease of living that we've kind of just drifted away from actually being humans and actually being a creature that needs to reproduce. Kids used to have, families used to have multiple kids for working on the farms and the property, and some of your kids would die. So you'd have 6, so you would end up with 4, right? You'd have to, higher mortality rates and things like that. So, we have amazing technology, but we're not really using that ideally in so many ways. So we'll see how that turns out, but it is what it is. You don't have to be horny at fitsingles.com. Is that a thing? That sounds like a slogan. You don't have to be horny? What? All right, Steven, I found that someone only starts taking care of their health and fitness for themselves when they are ready to do it for themselves, not when someone asks them to. I agree. You can't force someone to do it. It's such a fundamental life change, and it takes like so much of their day and their approach to execute and to be consistent. Like, how can you really get someone? How can you force someone, for example? You can't really force people to do anything, but how can you get someone to do the 7 pillars every day? Like, to be consistent, to meditate every day, to practice mobility, to sleep well, to hydrate, to eat properly. You need to be inspired to do it, which is why I'm trying to slap people across the tits, which is why I'm trying to catch people off guard and make sure that they understand that they're in control. They need to jump on this fucking train before it's too late. Albeit the same, people are still going to miss the train. They're still going to miss it, and they're going to wish they did it. Oh, I wish I started 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Oh, Papa Swole was right. Goddamn right. I am right. I am right. What your life is going to look like as a result of applying the 7 pillars, that's up to you. But you should be starting. You should be pursuing this. And most people are going to regret it when they can barely fucking wipe their own ass. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, there you go. Christopher, took me having my stepdad almost dying from a heart attack to really get me into it, right? Yeah, but now you're crushing it, man. How's everything been going with you? By the way, yeah, it's sad. It's frustrating. I mean, my grandparents passed in 2015 and 2016, and they weren't really healthy. You know, they didn't eat well. They lived, you know, pretty long, longer than the average person, but they could have done better. They could have lived longer for sure if they exercised regularly and they ate properly. They could have. Most people don't. You know, most people don't. They're not exposed to the right information. And most people just don't understand that they've been lied to, and they don't understand how much control that they have over their nutrition and how much of an impact it makes. They think it's one cheat meal. They think it's one this. They think it's just a little bit of this. They think it's just a little bit of poison here and there. They don't really address it as seriously as they should because it seems so extreme. Because it seems so extreme. It seems so extreme. It's like it's just one bite. It's just one this. It's one that. It's a lot more than that. It adds up really quickly. Very, very quickly. And yeah, most people don't realize it until it's too late. They don't realize it until it's too late. They think it's just in the moment. It's just what I'm doing now. This will be fine. I'll get back. I'll start again on Monday, or I'll stop eating this on Monday, or I'll cut back on this, next week. Oh, it's just now. It's just because it's Sunday. It's just because it's, I don't know, it's the Super Bowl, or it's because it's ladies' night, or it's because I have a cruise coming up, or whatever the fuck it is. It's just a bullshit excuse to not do it now. And guess what? It never gets done. It never gets done. It never gets fixed. It never gets addressed. And then all of a sudden, when you're in the doctor's office and now they're prescribing you medication and insulin and whatever the fuck it is, oh yeah, all those decisions, you start to blame it on what? Medical fat phobia. You're going to blame it on diet culture, blame it on your parents and genetics. You're going to blame it on your upbringing. What are you going to blame it on now? It's your fucking fault. You're not taking care of your health now. You never did. You never cared about it. You put it off. You thought you could wait. Now, it's hitting you in the fucking face that you never could. Now it's too late. And people get upset, they get frustrated, and they try to blame someone else for the problems. And most of you know this, it's not just visually. If you're seeing someone who's morbidly obese, then it's obvious, right? They're wearing it on the outside, right? In many ways, you can judge a book by its cover. Now, I'm not saying if you see an obese person, and again, it's not that someone who's obese is a terrible person. It has nothing to do with their personality. But this is like, it's objectively not healthy. It's not good for the body to be carrying around extra load. Now, if you're carrying around muscle mass, at least that muscle is functional weight. But a lot of muscle mass isn't really good for a structure because you only have one fucking heart. Your organs are only what they are. It's very hard for your body to handle a lot of extra lean mass. And when you're carrying around a lot of extra body fat, you don't have the muscle mass to really handle all of that. And it makes it really hard to move. It's hard to function. It's hard to deliver nutrients to your body. It's hard to breathe because your body can't expand the rib cage and the thoracic cavity because you have all this extra weight on you. Joints start hurting, all these fucking problems. So, it's cause and effect. What you do day to day, like what you're doing today is what's going to lead to what the outcome is tomorrow and the compounded tomorrow. So if you train today, like right now, if you're going to the gym, you're going to train today. Okay, good. Are you going to build muscle today? No. Are you going to break down muscle today? Yes. Are you going to have bigger muscles tomorrow? You might have some inflammation and you might see a little swelling. So it's not really hypertrophy, but you might feel a little bit tighter, a little bit more pumped, but you're not building muscle tomorrow. Like weights that I do today or lifting that I do today isn't going to give me more muscle tomorrow, but over the course of weeks and months, it will. It's going to develop over time. My strength is going to improve over time. So the one thing that you're doing today, the meal that I eat healthy today, is it going to build me muscle? Is it going to make me healthier tomorrow? Like it's incremental. Everything matters. Seriously, everything matters. Everything matters. Stop thinking that cheat meals don't matter. They do matter. It's garbage going into your system. And don't act like you're doing it once a fucking week. You're doing it at least once a week, usually a couple times a day, because people don't look at diet soda as cheating or a cheat meal. They don't look at, bread or processed carbohydrates in most cases as garbage food. But a lot of times they're eating all this stuff throughout the day. They're not sleeping properly. They're not doing all these other things. Plus they're having a cheat meal. Plus they're not really training properly. They're stressed out psychologically. They're surrounding themselves with terrible people. They're getting a lot of artificial chemicals and phthalates and, bisphenols and all this other stuff in their, dryer sheets and their detergents and their soaps and their shampoos and their fragrances that they're putting everywhere, and Lysol and sprays and fucking Febreze and all this crap everywhere. They're just inundated with all these other fucking things. It all matters because it's all happening all the time. And if you're not really vigilant with it, it's going to build up and you're not going to be able to stop it. There's a lot of problems. You don't have to be obese to be unhealthy. You could have leaky gut and not be morbidly obese. You could have a lot of skin issues and bone, your bones can be fucking decaying and osteopenic. You could have a lot of problems that aren't as a result of obesity. It's nutrient deficiencies and blah, blah, blah. In other words, it's your responsibility because it's no one else's. You have to do something about it. No one's going to do it for you. No matter what happened, no matter what brought you to this point, it's still your responsibility to make those changes now. You make those changes now, and that's the only way that you're going to have a different outcome. But it's your responsibility. If you're waiting for the government, you're waiting for someone to take care of it for you, then you're shit out of fucking luck. Right? You're just shit out of luck. I'm not telling you to do anything right now. I'm not telling you that if you want to have a cheat meal, if you're like, well, fuck this guy, I'm going to go eat pizza, then you go do that. Okay? You go do that. You really showed me. You're really sticking it to the man by eating more garbage. I don't care if you want to do that. I'm just telling you what the outcome's going to be. And you want to keep on rolling the dice, then keep on rolling the dice. But objectively, it's not good for you. Objectively, it's taking you down a dark path. And you just don't see. The human brain is very efficient at blocking out things that are repetitive. You have chronic bad habits that compound over time that you don't notice because it's so second nature to you. Your brain just blocks it out. You don't realize how often you're doing these things. In your brain, you're thinking once in a while when it's really 2 or 3 times a week, every fucking week for a year. If you're doing something 3 or 4 times a week, you're doing it 200 times a fucking year. You're doing it, that's 2,000 times over 10 years. Over 30 years, that's 6,000 times. 6,000 bad fucking, it's going to add up. It's going to add up. You have 1 brick. Okay, you have a brick. What do you do? Throw it, use as a paperweight. You have 6,000 bricks. You can have a really solid wall. Understand? So it all adds up. It all adds up. Think about 1 brick or 6,000 straight up. How much taller is 6,000 bricks? It's pretty fucking tall. All right. Go get some sweet potatoes. Very nice, fam. Good questions. Look, if you're eating quality food, you're going to enjoy it. I'm telling you, if you're eating quality food, I enjoy my food every fucking day because it's delicious. I love eating. I love fueling my body properly. It's really a bummer when people don't, but what you put into your body is literally what you're going to become. It is cause and effect. It is your input. If you're putting in cornflakes and sugar water, what do you think you're going to create? What do you think you're going to create? For real, if you're just drinking soda, just drinking corn syrup, and you're eating processed fucking grains, what do you think is actually going to, how is your body going to fucking repair? How is your body going to grow? What do you think is going to happen when you're eating garbage? You have no fucking tools. How can you build a house? Let's say, okay, you have 2 houses, or you have 2 builders or contractors, right? You have let's say the contractor had the same skill. They have the same house layout, all right? So they're both building, let's say 3 stories. They're same identical plots, like one of those game shows, right? Okay, contractor versus contractor. And you have, I'm sure this is a show, right? You have the same plot, the same house plans, the same this, boom. Okay, let's say you had one contractor has all the tools that they need and a surplus. They got all the lumber, all the nails, all the insulation, right? Okay, fine. Then you have the other guy, the other one, who's got a fraction. He's got a couple pieces of fucking wood. He's got a couple shingles. He's got a bag of concrete, a couple rusty nails. Who's going to be able to build the fucking house properly? The one that has all the building materials necessary. And the building materials you can think of as the 7 pillars, right? All different shades of that. You have your community that's locked down, your nutrition that's locked down, your training, your recovery, mobility, mindfulness, consistency, okay? So you have one house that has all the tools, has all the, the things that it needs. The other one, you're eating McDonald's and Taco Bell and just kind of like a granola bar. Like you're getting calories, for example, but it's kind of like, or like the fairy tale where you have like, the wolf, the 3 little pigs, blow your house down. You have one house that's made of straw and one that's made of stone and brick. 2 houses look the same. One's of brick, one's of straw. Like obviously the straw one's going to get blown down. It's going to fall over. So you don't have the tools. You're rummaging through all these empty calories, looking for nails, looking for boards, looking for shit. But this food just doesn't have any value in it. So you're left with nothing. You can't really build something effectively. You're going to have to cut corners. And what's going to happen? You're going to have, problems. So think about that. This is what your body is doing. Like, oh, you are what you eat. Literally, your body is only able to repair and refuel. And if you think you're going to train hard today, you're going to train hard tomorrow. So tomorrow you're going to go do a heavy fucking leg day. You're going to do a heavy leg day or an upper body day. Like what the fuck do you think you're going to do if you're eating shit today? You're going to give your body shit fucking food and then you're going to have an awesome fucking leg workout tomorrow? How dare you trash your body like that? How can you can't drive 500 miles without a full tank of gas. And even with a full tank of gas, a lot of times you won't be able to get 500 miles anyway. Let's say 300 or 400 miles on a full tank. Depends on the car, right? You need a full tank of fucking gas. You need all your nutrients, all your minerals, all the stuff, recovery, proper rest, right? You get 2 hours of sleep, you're going to have a shitty fucking workout running on fumes. So don't you need all the fuel necessary? Like if you think you're going to train regularly, you think lifting and nutrition is the most important thing, or just lifting is, you need to have the materials that your body can actually repair with. That's it. You need to have all the materials. How are you going to fucking have a great workout? How are you going to rebuild muscle tissue? How are you going to do all that if you don't have the resources? We'll take one more question. Let's see. Stephanie, or a comment. I was at the grocery store. A woman asked the clerk for the health food high fiber cereal. I moved away because vomiting came to mind. I knew I would not stay quiet. There is no healthy cereal. Ain't that the fucking truth? There's... which cereal is healthy? That is an oxymoron. Oh, he's on fucking fire.
He's on fire!
I'm raging. I'm going to drop another 3 in a second.
Boom shakalaka!
Elijah, thank you so much, Papa. The consistency of the Daily Swole makes it so much easier to be consistent in everything else. Fucking 7 pillars, beaches. Here every fucking day. Thank you, Cerny. Great rant. It felt good. It felt good. Just remember that all these small things that seem like no big deal today, they are a big deal. They just add up and faster than you realize. And for those of you that are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know what compounded problems have led. A lot of you have had an injury, right? You sprained your ankle, or you broke your leg, or you hurt your shoulder in your 20s. And now in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, you're starting to be like, oh shit, I wish I took care of that. Man, that was stupid. Oh, now you're dealing with the problem of ignoring an injury or some kind of like poor recovery when you didn't do therapy properly. You thought you can get away with it when you were 22, and now you're 45 and you're like, fuck, I can barely walk, and this hurts and that hurts. It's all compounded. If you're sitting down at a desk for 40 years, it's not going to hurt for the first 5 years. But then after 10 years, it starts to ache a little bit. And then 20 years starts to get really bothersome. And then 30 years, you're on fucking Percocets and your back is in chronic pain and you're blah, 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 blah. That's what happens. Same thing with your cheat meals and your garbage. Oh, when you're 20, it's fine. You're staying up all night drinking until 4 a.m, eating Taco Bell, and then trying to max out the next day. Then you're 25 and you start getting a little bit, more sluggish. You get a career, blah, blah, and you start becoming that guy when you're 30 or 35. Like, oh, I used to play football in college. You remember the day when you used to lift in the gym as if it was yesterday. It was 15 fucking years ago. And then you're 40 and you're 45 and 50. And you've been eating shit and not exercising. And then, oh, why do you think it's always around like in the mid 30s or 40s or 50s that people are talking about the gut and like, oh, I got to get back in shape? It's because you're active generally when you're younger, and then you become a fucking lazy fuck for 20 years. Wow. Shocker. Imagine if you don't do that for 20 years and you actually take care of yourself, then you don't have anything to worry about. It's like people don't take care of their problems in the moment. Same thing with relationships. They bury their arguments. They bury things that are really bothering them between them and their significant other, and it comes out in stupid fights with like the dishes not being washed. But if you're actually addressing issues that come up as they come up, you don't have anything lying under the surface, and you have a much better relationship because you communicate better. It's just don't shove these things under the rug, whether it's nutrition or training, all 7 pillars, communication with your partner. It's like, it all matters. It all matters. All right. Good rant. Good rant. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Seriously, I'm 38 and I feel better than I ever have. I feel better than I ever have. My joints feel better. My strength is better. Everything feels better. I'm more in tune, more plugged in. I'm not trying to get I'm not still trying to put on like 10, 20 fucking pounds of muscle. I'm bigger, bigger, bigger. Much smarter about my training. I understand what I have, what I want, what makes me feel good. That's what's most important. It's a journey of life and you got to find yours. Let's give away today's Swole card. What a fucking great man cast. No jabronis allowed. I think you all know that. There's no jabronis. You're not welcome here if you're a jabroni. But if you're not a jabroni, come on down. Who we got here? Scroll. 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 Come on now, scroll. Scroll. Come on now, scroll. Scroll. 1, 2, 3. We got a winner. Peaceful Bandit. Congratulations. Congratulations. My goodness. Some of you are really on that. You're dropping that no jabronis allowed. Very nice. Congratulations. Peaceful Bandit dropping it like a savage. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2102 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Very nice. Get a little weak clap. Yeah, a little weak clap there too. Congratulations. Congratulations. Very nice. That was quick. That's what she said. 2 million.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died. Probably by the time I finish this talk.
Yep, 200 people. No meteor hit the earth. No, 200 million people didn't die, but okay. Congratulations, Bandit. You are awesome. Thank you so much for playing. Fam, make sure that you are ready for tomorrow's accountability meeting. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Join the fam today, swolenormousx.com. And remember, make sure that you are sharing the podcast, sharing it, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure that you're leaving a review, 5 stars on any platform that you listen to. If you're able to leave a review, it helps a lot, and write a review as well. Share the podcast. If you don't know, just mention it one more time that we did get banned on TikTok. The Daily Swole did get banned on TikTok. I know.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
We got banned. The Daily Swole got banned, but you can follow the Daily Swole 2 on TikTok, and I'm posting all the videos there. And when that gets banned, I will post on Daily Swole 3. And as you can see, there's a lot of numbers after that. So just make sure you're following whatever account I'm following on the Papa Swolio channel. So the Daily Swole 2, if you want to see clips there, of course, the Daily Swole on Instagram. But hopefully the appeal goes through and we get the 185,000 followers back on TikTok. That'd be really nice. I have no idea why it was banned. I guess you could just take your pick on the video, and they got tired of me speaking some fucking truths. Literally, by the way, that account was all just clips from this show. And let me tell you something. I was actually not posting the more aggressive clips. I was not posting the more aggressive ones because I'm like, all right, I just didn't want to push it. I was like, all right, I'll save those for like the other account. We'll save those for the mashups on Instagram. But I was actually saving, like kind of holding off on the more aggressive ones, but it didn't even fucking matter. It didn't even matter. I didn't post ones on gender. I didn't post ones on COVID. I just didn't post those videos. I'm like, all right, why rock the boat? Let me just post the ones on the 7 pillars, nutrition. Let me just keep some of those really aggressive ones out. And then it didn't even matter. So we'll see what happens. But of course, the show's not stopping. We'll just keep on putting the clips somewhere else. And it is what it is. So fuck all those jabronis and jabbernets. Lame ass beaches. They were barely distributing my content to my followers anyway. So it's not like it was reaching all 185,000 of them, but bummer. The problem is all the videos are gone now. Every single video that I've ever posted on that account are gone. So all the duets are gone. All the viral ones with those multi-millions of followers, like all those great videos that went viral from the Daily Swole, those were all gone. I don't know if you knew that. So the account gets banned. All the videos get banned as well. Why? All I'm talking about is eating like grass-fed beef and to not be a jabroni. Can't you just let me do what I want to do in the corner? Can't you just let me play in the corner? All right, let's nut this beach and We'll figure it out, fam. We'll figure it out. It's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. I said it's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. I know it's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. I just said it's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. I know it's fucking bullshit.
I got hairy legs.
Look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there like a little lady in a wedding scarf.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
Great man cast today. Great questions. I appreciate you all bringing the heat live. That was fantastic.
That Hansel's so
Fantastic
hot right
questions.
now.
Had to use my strong hand.
I better use my strong hand.
I better use my strong hand. Oh yeah.
What happened to your queer party friends?
Emotional damage.
Chlorophyll? More like chlorophyll.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Nailed it. Come on now.
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my opinion.
I like to caress rusty spoons.
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
Fucking nailed it, baby. Come on now. Let's go.
Ever served in a forward area?
Have you ever served in a forward area?
Shampoo my crotch.
Shampoo my crotch.
I arrived in America's airport with clothing, US dollars, and a jar of gypsy tears to protect me from AIDS.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn,
He's got hairy legs. The president's got hairy legs.
In the sun. And the kid used to come up and reach in and pull and rub my leg down.
Quick release.
So it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
Oh, the hair on my ball sack. All right, fam. Fuck you, Joe, and your goddamn hairy legs. No one fucking cares. It's weird. It's weird.
I am the danger.
It's weird. It's weird. You're talking about your hairy legs and kids touching and rubbing your hairy fucking legs. Gross. Like, gross. Seriously, dude. Seriously. No, the young 5-year-old doesn't look like a 19-year-old girl. No, you shouldn't be showering with your daughter. Anyway, is that too soon? All right, hold on.
Inconceivable!
Shushies. Shush. We don't talk about that. We'd like to stay here on YouTube, I guess. We'll see. I'm still in my sandbox. They still let me play over here in the corner. But we won't stop anytime soon. Now, will we, fam? Let's get some grills on the way out. Thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe over at SwoleNormousX.com. Join the fam today. SwoleNormousX.com. Get started for less than $5. Get access to all the private live streams. Remember, tomorrow at 12 noon, we have our live call, 12 noon. Members only. Don't miss out on that. And we'll see you back here real soon for the next Mancast. But don't miss tomorrow's private live stream live call. SwoleNormousX.com. See you over there. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you laid, that's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new